Okay, so I'm recording this meeting. We've got 23 people now. Okay, so I just was talking about getting assignments in on time, noticing the due dates so that you get them in before your time runs out on those assignments. It's really important to do that. Okay, these classes are getting recorded. I'm putting them up on YouTube and putting the link on Canvas. So hopefully you've all seen that. But if you haven't, go to the announcements. There's quite a lot of stuff there now on Canvas. Okay, I'm going to be putting some more little tests up, musictheory.net tests soon, but at the moment we're just doing the second species. Okay, so I want to just draw your attention to some other stuff on Canvas in Pages. So I'm just going to share the screen with you here. Okay, so you can all see my Canvas here, and you go to Pages over here. Okay, click on that, and you do View All Pages, and you can see some stuff about counterpoint right here for you. Okay, so there's rules for first species, the second species introduction, which we already looked at, and did I print it out? I don't think I printed it, but I think we looked at it. We definitely looked at it. I think maybe it's just a PDF. I can't remember if I handed it out before we closed or not. Don't think so. And then there's the checkpoints here that you can go through. So for your second species, again, I think we've kind of looked at this, but we're going to look at it again right now. And then we're going to do a second species. Okay. So this is stuff that you can refer to as you're writing, just to remind yourself of the different rules. Okay. So when writing second species counterpoint, don't forget second species means 2 notes to 1 note. You're writing 2 notes to every 1 note in the cantus. We suggest 2 passes to check your work. Check the harmonic intervals first. Okay, now checking harmonic intervals. Some of you are quite often making mistakes about what the interval is. So check that interval. Also, just to point out, if you've got a middle C and an A below it, that's a third. Some people are switching them around and calling it a 6th. Okay, now it doesn't always matter, but sometimes that is getting people into problems. So make sure you understand what that interval is, a C down to an A, right? So you're counting through your alphabet, A, B, C. Make sure you're counting that way, not the other way around. If you're confused by that, you could always draw a piano keyboard and make sure that you're counting it the right way around, okay? All right, so check the harmonic intervals first. The first and last intervals should be either an octave or a unison. The first can be a 5th only if the counterpoint is above the cantus. Okay, we all know that from first species. Nothing's changed. Each cantus note should be paired with a consonant. What's a consonant? It's a 3rd, a 5th, a 6th, or an octave. Don't forget, we're not using unison except beginning and end. Okay, so the other consonants are 3rd, 5th, 6th, and octave. So those are the consonants that you can use for the first beat of the measure. The dissonance, a dissonance written on the first beat isn't an error. So you can't put a 2nd, a 4th, or a 7th on the first beat of the bar. Okay. If there is an octave or a 5th on the beat, check the first half note in the next measure for parallel octaves or parallel 5ths. Also look back at the approach to the octave or 5th, which should be a step in the upper part and not from another interval of the same size. So this bit here is basically meaning check for parallel octaves and parallel 5ths. Both, once you've written one, make sure you don't have one in the bar before or the bar after. Okay, and also make sure that the upper part moves by step. Okay, so if you've decided to write an octave, make sure that the part that's already written, the cantus, if it's on top, is moving by step. And if you're writing the top part, make sure you do it by step. Okay, if the part is on top and it's already been written and it's not a step, then you can't put an octave there. Okay, so the top part has to move to the octave by step. Okay, so I'm only seeing the Canvas page. Oh, sorry. I now see that you're not seeing this. Excuse me, guys. Okay, now you're seeing it, right? Okay, good. Sorry about that. So this is checkpoints for students and teachers, which is in pages on Canvas, okay? I just talked through the first 3 points here, okay? The second half note of each measure may include a dissonant, passing, or neighbor tone. Make sure any second, fourth, seventh, or ninth is prepared and resolved as a passing or neighbor tone, and mark it P or N. An augmented fourth or diminished fifth must be treated as a passing or neighbor tone and must resolve to the correct interval. Okay, so what they're saying is here, the second beat in each measure can be a second, fourth, seventh, ninth, or tritone. Okay, can be. But if it is, it always must be moving by step. The note before it is a step away, and the note after it is a step away. No jumping in either direction. No jumping to a dissonance and no jumping away from a dissonance. It always must be step. So it's either the dissonance is filling in the gap of a third, it's the one in the middle, or it goes to the dissonance and back again, down to the dissonance and back again. Okay, so passing tone up, passing tone down, neighbor tone up, neighbor tone down. That's the only way you can have a dissonance, and it must be on the second beat of the bar. Okay. The offbeat may be another consonant. Okay? It doesn't have to be a dissonance on the second beat. Approached by step, skip, or leap in oblique motion with a cantus note. Okay, so if you're moving to a consonant, it doesn't have to be by step, or it might be. Usually when it's going, if you're going from the fifth to the sixth, which are both consonances, that would be by step. Okay, then that's okay. Octaves or fifths on consecutive beats are also acceptable, unless they draw attention to themselves. Okay, consecutive offbeats, sorry. So you may have octaves or fifths from one bar to the next, but not next to each other. Okay. If the offbeat note is an octave or a fifth, check the connection to the next upbeat, next beat for parallels. Just saying the same thing again, no parallel fifths or octaves. The unison should only appear at the beginning or end of the counterpoint. Okay, we're going to ignore this next little bracket thing. I'm just saying that, beginning or end of the counterpoint. The closing strict style should be a third to unison, or a tenth to an octave, same thing, or a sixth to an eighth, with the parts approaching the final note in contrary motion by step over the bar. This is exactly the same as the ending in first species. Nothing's changed here. The next to last cantus note may be set 2 to 1 or 1 to 1. What that means is the penultimate note may just be the one note to one note and the last bar one note to one note. Well, I'm generally doing 2 notes in the penultimate bar. We're going to cover that in just a minute if that's confusing. Raise the flat seventh in minor to make a leading tone and flat sixth if necessary. Okay. All right, so more stuff here. I just want to bring the attention to this last point here. There should be a mix of perfect consonances, which are the fifth and the octave, imperfect consonances, third and sixth, and dissonances. A second species exercise must include some dissonant passing or neighbor tones. Complete lack of them is an error. Some people have been doing that. Some people have not been doing any dissonance at all. Okay, but that's what we really want to do. The dissonances are good because they propel it forward and then make the counterpoint more interesting. So you want to have the dissonance, you just have to do it correctly. Okay? All right, so that is all there for you to download in the pages part of Canvas. Okay? All right, any questions so far? Is everyone still awake?
Sir,
Yes.
so you're saying with the dissonance, you had to approach it by step and go to the next one by step also.
Correct.
No skip. I approach some of them by skip now.
No, not by skip. So if you have a dissonant note, the note before the dissonant note must be a step away, and the one after it must be a step away. Always.
Like sir, don't correct my assignment yet. I'll do it over.
That's fine. And another thing I want to say, as you mentioned that, Shaquille, is that the deal with handing in things so late, when people do, not that everyone is, but if you hand them in early, it gives me a chance to correct them and you can do them again, right? Before you move on to the next thing. But if I get everything in one go, well, you may have made the same mistake again and again and again in different assignments. Okay, and then you're not really learning from the mistake because you're making the same mistakes. So please try and get them in on time and hand them in one at a time. Okay, so I can give you the feedback and then you get to the next assignment, you're like, oh, okay, right, I get where I was going wrong there now. Okay, it's not about trying to get 100% every time. It's about learning the rules. That's the main thing. Okay, and it's easy. It's easiest to learn by doing it and making the mistakes, and then going, okay, that's I get it now. Okay, it's much easier to do it that way than just listening to me and then trying to do it right. Okay, it's much easier to do it yourself. It sinks in more that way. Okay, all right. So I'm going to move on, and we can do all one together, just like last time. Okay, I'm going to see if some people have turned up since we started. Okay, everyone's got there. Not everyone. Okay, so a few people here: Azaria, Geneva, Erin. You've got to turn your cameras on. Okay, new APA rule. There's some concern going around the faculty that people are just logging in and then not paying attention, not actually being in the lesson. Thank you, whoever that was. Erin's now with us. Azaria and Geneva, I don't even know if you're there. Yep, okay, Geneva's there, good. Azaria, are you with us? Azaria, are you there? I'm not seeing any evidence that you're there, Azaria. Okay, guys, so might be a rude awakening for some of you. Okay, I got my hair done specially for you guys, but make sure that you are prepared to turn on your camera. Okay, I understand you may not want to do it instantly, but please make sure that you do that. Okay, and we've got now 23 people, so hopefully everyone. Well, I guess you must have managed to register to get in. Okay, so you're registering just so that I can do an attendance record, and part of the reason for doing the attendance record is in case some people are just not able to get in. Then I know who those people are and I can get in touch and figure out what's going on. Okay. All right. So we've just been over those second species rules. We're going to do another one together, just like we did last time, just to make sure people are really getting the hang of it. Okay. Feel free to jump in if you want to say something. Okay. So here we go. Another second species counterpoint. Okay. So here we have the cantus on the top. Well, I shouldn't say piano here, but that's just what turned up there. So can I get rid of that? Yeah. Okay, so we've got our two lines, right? So you can see that it's one cantus because we have a double bar line here, not here. Okay, so we can see that it's one long cantus. Okay, so let's make a start. Okay, I'm gonna see, I want everyone to have a little go at chipping in, okay? So someone start off by telling me what they're gonna do first.
Excuse me, sir. Azaria said that her mic isn't working, but she's here.
Okay, I couldn't see her either though.
Pardon?
We wanted to see you. Where are you, Azaria? No mic. Oh, your hand's up. Okay, Azaria, I'm seeing hand up. Chat. Azaria.
Sir.
Okay, Azaria, got you.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh, sir. Oh, sorry.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, this is, hang on just a second. I'm just writing here. Okay, who's talking now?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Celia.
Yeah, so I just letting you know, the current is now glitch, and I don't know if it was shut off completely. So if you don't see me, that might be the.
That's fine. That's fine.
Just letting you know before.
That's cool. Okay, so it's all about communication, right? So when I see you all in room 305, it's easy for me to know you're all there, right? And this is a little bit harder this way. But I just want to make sure that no one's kind of dropping out and not being at any classes. I want to make sure that you all get through this course, okay? All right. If anyone missed this from last time, the final exam will have to be, I email it out to you in the morning and get it back in the evening, okay? And at the moment, the plan is to do it on the same day as it would have been, which is, let me just mess around these screens here to try and tell you. Okay, the exam's supposed to be on the 28th of April, okay, which is a month away. 1, 2, 3, it's exactly 4 weeks away. All right, I mean, we could probably do it a bit earlier, but at the moment we'll leave it there and we'll see how everyone's getting on. Okay, and the final exam now will just be 2 second species counterpoints. The only other things I'm going to do is set you a few more of those time tests on musictheory.net. Okay, and that's going to take the place of the final exam that we would have done at APA. All right, so you need to do that to get through the course, and please make sure you stay in touch if there's any internet issues or any reason why that might not work. Okay, if you have internet that goes in and out, intermittent internet, just let me know. Okay, and we'll work around it. You're not going to get penalized because the internet isn't working, but if you don't stay in touch, it's hard for me to know what's going on. Okay, so just keep me in a loop with what's happening with your internet and the classes and all that. Okay, right, so I'm going back to the counterpoint now. Okay, who's going to start me off? What's the first thing we're going to do?
Me. Can we start with a rest and then do the octave, which is the 8th?
You want to do a rest first?
Yeah, and then do the 8th. So be the C above the bar.
There, yeah?
C, yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So that's the first thing you do. You decide your first note. Now, you could always change it later because it could be there as well, right? But that's fine. And just making sure everyone understands that. And you can do it there. So Patrice decided on the opening there. Okay, good. Right. Somebody else. What's next?
Take a go to D.
Hang on. Is this Enoch? Who's speaking? Yeah. It would help me if you say your name before you speak.
Shaquille.
Oh, Shaquille Forbes. Hi, right. Okay. Go to a B. Well, what's the next thing we're going to do? Once we've done the opening, what's the next thing we're going to do? It's not going to be right here.
So we can do the closing, since it's
Right.
kind of
Closing, right. Who's talking now?
Carlos.
Carlos, sorry, yeah. The next thing you want to do is the closing. We did the opening, bar, right? Which could change.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the closing. So what, Carlos, what do you want to do at the end?
So you can just use the 8 and before the 8 you had to put B. Because it already had 2 to 1, so you had to put 7 to 1.
Right, good. So you're saying here or here?
Anyone.
Okay. And I'll put the B in. Now, I'm generally saying I'm going to do the B on the second beat of the bar. That's what I was just talking about in the rules. It could be there. You could do that. But I'm going to stick for the now with that. Okay? Again, you can always change it later. Now, you can do that or you can do that. Those are your options at the end. Can anyone comment on which one might be better? Anybody?
So I like the one with the rest and then the menu.
You like?
I'm sorry, this first one.
This we're talking about here?
Yeah.
You like it like that?
Yeah.
Okay. And who's this speaking?
Jadal.
Okay. Now you could do that or you could do that. What I'm really thinking of here, guys, if you're here, you're coming to unison, look at how this line came down, right? And contrary motion is better. So you want to come up in this way as much as you can, all right? Now, if we did this and we're coming up to get to here, we might be quite far apart down here. So this may well be a better choice, okay, to end on unison rather than octave. Okay? All right, so we've done the opening and the closing. Okay, who's going next? Someone that hasn't been.
Sir?
Yeah.
Shaquille, going back to the opening, I was saying you could put a D after the C.
Okay, so if we put a B there, I'm doing minims. Okay, can anyone spot a problem there?
It's a parallel octave.
Right, it's a parallel octave.
D as in dog.
D, you know.
Oh, you said D?
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to ask Shaquille again. Shaquille, did I hear you wrong?
You're correct now. You're now correct.
Oh, that's what you said. Okay, right. Yeah, good. A D. Okay. Yes. Okay, so D, that's fine. Okay. Someone else?
Something dissonant.
Okay, I'm just going to pick someone. Chelsea Seeley. Go on, Chelsea. Give me the next note. Well, it would be a good idea to think about this note first. So why don't you give me 2 notes? Think about what you're going to do here and then fill in the gap.
Okay. You could go G on that one. Yeah.
Oops, sorry. Okay, G. Okay. Now, what's this interval from a G to a C?
Oh, as a 4th? No.
Right, it's a 4, so you can't do that.
So we could do E.
You could do an E. Let's think of a few options, right? So let's say we're going to do a dissonance. It would be good to do a dissonance here, right? So let's say we put a C. That's a 7th, so that's a dissonance, right? But the next note has to be by step. This makes a 7th, so that doesn't work. So can't do that. That is also a dissonance, so we can't do that. Okay? So this C can't go there because that's a dissonance and it can't resolve by step. Okay? All right. So we could do an E, which would be a step up, but that is also a consonance. So we now know we're not going to have a dissonance here.
If you have a D there.
Right, we're not going to have a dissonance on this second bit because the only dissonance available to us is a C. So that means we can skip to a different note. Okay? All right, so off you go again, Chelsea. What are we going to put here?
So we kind of put a unison there.
A unison? Well, a unison would be there. That's seems like kind of
the C can't put C there, sir.
yes, you can have an octave because this is an octave and this is moving up by step. So yes, you can do that. Okay. In which case, what's going to be here?
And then it could put but you don't want the same 2 notes next to each other.
Well, not really. I mean, I guess you could do that, but I would rather see a different note there.
Yeah.
Well, just pick one. It's got to be anything that's a 3rd, 5th, or 6th below here, right? So it's not going to be a dissonance. So our choices are a 3rd below is a G, 5th below is an E, or a 6th below is a D. Those are your choices. So pick one of them.
Well, E then, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay. Okay, right. Next person. I'm going to pick someone else. Who am I seeing down here? Geneva. What are we going to do next? You're going to do the next 2 notes, okay?
So I have a question.
Yeah, who's this talking?
Carlos. So right, I noticed you do a kind of quick fix there. I didn't really think of that. So I see you going to the next bar, you find the notes a 3rd, a 5th, or a 6th below, and after you find that, the previous note, the note could just either be a 3rd, a 5th, or a 6th too. You don't have to do no really thinking, you just have to pick one. You would never run into a problem.
Well, I was trying to just kind of move things along a little bit. Okay, so the first note in each bar has to be a consonant. So I'll move a little more slowly, but let's just do it this one. And Geneva, you can go next. Okay, so on this beat, on the first beat here, right? Let's just ignore this step for a second, and we'll jump to here. It's got to be a 3rd, a 5th, or a 6th.
Yeah,
okay?
that D, F, or C.
Well, let's go. We're going down, right? So we're 3rd down from an A is an F, right?
And
a
then
5th
D.
down is a D, or a
And then
6th
C.
down is a C, or obviously there's an octave, which is an A. So those are our, one of those 4 notes has to go here, Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, this has come down by skip. It can't be an octave, because if it's an octave, the upper part has to move into it by step. Okay. So we can get rid of the A. Okay. If it's an octave, the upper part must move by step, and it isn't moving by step. So we can't put an octave there. Okay. It's coming down, so it would be good to go up in the bottom part. Okay. So we could put a D, right?
Yeah.
But we've then got a, what are we going to do here? We can't do a passing note. Okay. All right. So we wouldn't be able to do a passing note there or a neighbor tone. But if it's a D here, right? Okay, if we go to F, we could do F. Okay, then we're going to have, we can't put a passing note or a neighbor tone. Right, so we'd have to do a consonant here. Okay, so we could do that. So what are our options? We could put an E, that's a consonant below the C.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a kind of our only option, really. I suppose we could also go to a G, right? Oh no, we can't do that. So yeah, so kind of an E is going to be our best option there. All right. Okay, but let's back up a little bit. We're not seeing the best options here. Now, what if we did the C? Right now, we could go. We've got two C's here, so we can do a lower neighbor, lower neighbor there, or upper neighbor. Could do either. Okay. So, which one of those would be better? Well, you might see that this is moving down and now moving down here. So if I go like that, now I've got contrary motion. So that's probably better. Okay?
Yeah.
Is that making sense?
Okay.
So we're kind of going note by note. You also want to think about look a bit more of a bigger picture. We've got our highest point here, or the two high points. Okay? At some point you want to have a low point in the low part, and then we're going to come up. So we don't want to stay up high for too long. We might want to make a jump down at some point and come up here.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I missed something. When you went from the E to C, right? And skip. You could how come you do that? From the E to the C. No, the E to the C.
Oh, sorry. Okay, you're saying about when we were there, like that?
No. The bar before it.
Oh, here, yeah.
Yeah, the E to the C, yeah. And that skip, right?
Yes, but this is not a dissonance because the E to the B is a fifth.
Oh, all right, I don't understand. Okay.
Right. You can always go back and change things too, right? So if you see here, we're fairly high up, right? And you can see here, we're going to be back in that same area, but we want to go up because this part is coming down. We're going to want to come up. So at some point, we'll want to do a leap down, okay, to get ourselves down low, and then we can come up. So we know that somewhere in the next couple of bars, we're going to do a leap, down, most likely. Don't forget, hang on, let me just finish that sentence. So having a leap is a good thing. So we'll try and do a leap down in a minute. We won't do it here because that's a leap in that part. You don't have two leaps at the same time. Okay? Who was just talking there?
Aaron, I have a question.
Yeah.
So for bar 3, with the C, can we put an A there instead?
Here?
Yeah.
Yes, you could. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You certainly could do that. I'll put it back just for now. But yes, you could have put an A there. Okay, because an A is a consonant. Okay, it's a third. Okay, this is a leap, but that's fine because this was also a consonant. Okay, all right. Okay, back to Geneva. Off you go, Geneva. So you're going to do the same thing now. Figure out what you want to put here, and then figure out what's going to go there. So what do you want to put here, Geneva?
And it has to be consonant, right?
Has to be consonant on the first beat of the bar, right? So let's just think about what those are. A third below a C is what?
A third below C is an A.
Good. And a fifth below is?
A fifth below would be F.
Good. And a sixth below.
6 would be E.
E. And then the octave below is a C. But these two here is not moving by step. Therefore, this cannot be an octave.
That is the octave.
So we're going to take that off. So there are your three choices of note to go here. Okay? So this is moving up, so probably better to move down.
Yeah, I was thinking the F.
Okay? Okay?
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Okay? Right, so then what are we going to put here? You can see what our choices are there, right?
Yeah.
So let's just go over our options, right? It can't be a dissonance because these are a fifth apart, right? Can't be a dissonance on the second beat of the bar. So it has to be one of those three. So it could be that one. Okay, it's a little bit of a big leap. Probably not the best idea. We could do the D. Certainly could do that, right? Or could stay on the same note. Or could go down there. But then that's oblique motion, right? Which we're trying to avoid. So having looked at all those, I would say maybe there isn't really a brilliant answer here. Should we try a different note over here?
We could, yeah.
So try a different one.
Maybe A instead.
A like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Now these two notes are a third apart. Okay. Means that we could fill them in with a passing tone here. Right? What would that passing tone be?
Can it be a skip?
It could.
Yeah.
But in second species, we're trying to include dissonances, right? And these two notes are a third apart, right? That means you can put a passing tone in between them. So what would that note be?
I guess the note in between. So yeah, B. No, wait, yeah. That's not an option.
That note would be a B.
Yeah.
Right? C, B, A. And this B creates a seventh here with the A. Okay? So that becomes a passing tone. Okay? Does that make sense? So it's not the only solution here, but I'd say that's probably the better one for these two notes, considering where we'd have reached that. Now, you could always go back and change everything else. But I think considering that's where we are, that was probably the best solution there. Okay? All right. Let's see. Megan Tate. What are we going to do next?
So sorry, excuse. Jadel says that her internet keeps dropping and it's keep kicking her out of the class. So she's trying to log back in now.
Has she registered? Could you ask her that?
Yeah, she was there before.
Okay. Well, maybe you could message her and just, Patrice, and just say that it'll be recorded and I'll put it online.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, Megan, you're up. So, while you're thinking, note it's easy to miss because it's across two lines here, that we've got a leap from a C down to the F. So if there's a leap downwards here, what do we probably want to do in the other part?
Not leap. Go up stepwise.
Yeah. Want to go up, and if possible, by step. Well, let's just look at some options. A, B, C. Right, we're going up by step. Can we do that?
So the C to F.
Right. That's a fourth, so we can't do that because that's a dissonance. Okay, good. Okay. So we can't just go up by step.
So is it possible to have an octave on the second beat?
An octave, yeah, so if you're going to go like that. Yeah, that's what you mean? If that's what you mean, you can certainly do that because this is going to be, this is a consonance here. So yes, you can do that. Megan, is that what you were meaning?
Yeah, and the next one will be D.
Okay. Oops. Okay. All right, good. Okay. So we stepped up into that leap. Okay. So I'd say that's probably a good move. Okay. Right. Ray, you're up next.
Yes, sir.
Hang on, Ray, just hold on while you're thinking. Antonio's just asked something. Antonio, are you able to speak?
Yeah, I was just wondering how you would go about to get contramotion, right? If you want to go up in the counterpoint, how you would go about that with a leap from bar 6 to 7?
6 to 7. Well, it's going up here, right?
Yeah.
Right, we're going up here, so we probably want to go down here. And we are, remember I said before that we're quite high at the moment. And as this all comes down by step, we want to aim to be coming up here if we can. So it would help us to be dropping down at some point, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying because you're real high up in the register.
Yep, that's very true. Yep. So it might be that you want to change this, right? You could think, I got a bit stuck here, I'm going to go back. But we're not going to do that for now. What we're going to think is, okay, we're a bit high, we're on the higher side here, we need to drop down. Probably best not to do it right away because we've got this, we're skipping up here, okay? But maybe at this point, maybe we'll do a leap down and then come up. Okay? Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
And it's definitely true that you might get halfway through and think, you know what, I need to be at a different spot. I want to be lower here or something. So do it in pen. Make sure you're doing it in pencil so you can go back and erase it and make some changes earlier. Okay, Ray, before you go, okay, Natasha, I see you're back. That's good. Azaria, in the case of the leaps that we use in second species, do we still need to use at least one? Yes, you do, Azaria. You still need to have at least one leap, okay? Might be that you have more than one. It might be that you have two. I wouldn't do more than two. Okay, Ray, you're up.
Yes, sir. Could we use a D there?
A D?
No, in the next bar.
Yep. D again? Yes, you could do that. Okay, so what are you going to do here? Well, we've got two notes the same, right? So you could do an upper neighbor or a lower neighbor, or you could do a consonant skip.
So bring down the lower neighbor, sir. The D that we just put in, bring it down.
Lower neighbor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, good. So we've got this C creates a fourth with the F. So that's a dissonance. It's on the second beat of the bar, which is good. And this creates a lower neighbor here. I am seeing one little problem. Can anyone see a problem with this? So hidden problem.
C to F is our fourth.
Sorry?
The C to the F is our fourth?
Yeah, that's okay. It's a fourth, which is a dissonance. It's on the second beat of the bar, so that's fine. Can anyone see another problem here?
This is the motion. It's both are going up instead of contrary motion.
Correct. That is part of the issue. If you look here, this is a fifth, right? This is a fifth. You want to be careful not to have parallel fifths. So whenever you get a fifth, check before it to see if you've got a parallel fifth. Well, we don't between the C and the F, but we do, but it's a hidden one, because in a sense, you've got this, right? And now you have parallel fifths here. That's parallel fifths. C to G is a fifth, and D to A is a fifth. Now, even though that G isn't written, it's called a hidden parallel fifth. Okay? So, Ray, I'm afraid you can't put that C there. So have a little rethink.
That's all.
Well, that was the lower neighbor, right? And we're trying to include dissonance. So what other dissonant note could you put there, Ray? There's only one other one.
B, sir?
Well, no, you can't put a B there because that's a dissonant note, and dissonant notes have to move by step. Okay? So if you put the E there, it's a second with the F. The E is a second, and this is an upper neighbor. Okay? Because it's moving by step both times. Okay? The B is a diminished fifth, right? F to B. So that's a dissonance, and here we're not moving by step, so that's why you can't do it. Okay, so let's go for the E there. All right. Next person, who's next here? David. You're up, David. What are you going to do next? Do you remember how I was saying that along here we're coming down, and we're quite high at the moment? So at some point we're going to want to do a leap down and come up. So that might be a good time to do that now, perhaps.
So I was thinking to go D, B, G.
D, B, G, like that?
Yeah.
The whole thing just shifted. Okay, so here, the B creates a seventh with the A, right? So you can use dissonance, but it's not by step. It's a third down. So that's why you can't do it. Okay, when you have dissonance, it needs to be by step. Okay, so think again. Off you go, David.
So you could do D, F, G.
D, F. Do you mean like that?
Well, not so high, but I was thinking to like skip down from
that
the
one.
B. Yeah.
Yes, you could do that. Okay, so the F here is a third. F to A is a third. Well, it's a tenth actually, right? Same as a third. Okay, here we have an octave, right? And the octave is moved by step in the upper part. So we're good. Yeah, okay. So we're here. Now the only thing I'm thinking is we only have a third to go up here. We've got a few bars to do it. It might prove some problems, but we'll stick with that for now, okay? All right, so that was David. Okay, next person, who's next on my list here? Enoch. Enoch, you're up. But maybe Enoch's disappeared.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're there,
Nah?
okay.
Yeah, here.
Okay, Enoch, what are you gonna do next?
All right. What I could do, the F, the D. With the F, I wanted to use with the F, I want to use a D.
Here. That one?
Yes, sir. Could that work there?
Okay, and then in that case, what are you gonna put here? These two are a fourth apart, which means you can't have a dissonance on the second beat. Okay, so if there's no dissonance, it has to be a consonance. What are our consonant notes here?
Every G. I would have either the B or the D. E, D, D, E.
You can't have a D. Let's just go over our consonants, okay? So we've got a G. What's a third underneath a G?
I feel I mix up this whole thing, I know. That'll be E.
The E.
I mix it up.
What's a fifth underneath?
So I mix it up. I mix up the whole thing. I mix
That's
up the
okay.
whole thing.
So we're just working out what our consonant notes are. So if we've got a G, right, it's the third, fifth, and sixth an octave underneath are the consonants. So a third underneath is an E. What's a fifth underneath?
E, F, G, E, F, E, E, D, C. That'll be C.
Good. And a sixth underneath?
That's six would be, B.
Right, and the octave is obviously G. So those are the four notes that you could put here. Okay.
Mix up this whole thing, boy. All right.
Yeah. Now,
yes.
if you put an E here, right, you could have a dissonant note in the middle, but octaves, right? Octaves, you get parallel octaves. So that's probably not really going to work. Oh, hang on. E. Why did I say E? Sorry, I'm talking total rubbish. Just ignore that I said that.
Okay.
Okay, so so far you've put D here.
Well, man.
Okay.
E, C, E. I'll go with the G. I'll go to B, sir.
B?
Yeah.
There? Which one?
Yeah. I'll use the one below for now.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now in this bar, we have two big leaps with a sixth. So I'll say that's okay for now. It does make it pretty disjunct here, but that's okay for now. Okay, Patrice, off you go.
So, Chelsea said that her Wi-Fi got cut off.
Chelsea who?
Reese.
Okay.
Also question pertaining to the eights in the species, right? Wouldn't that be too much because it has a lot there?
The octave?
Yeah.
Let's see how many. We've got one there.
And then there's about three.
One. Oh yeah, there's one over there. Yeah, you're right. We are getting kind of a lot now.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I kind of want to keep going. So, but fair point. Yeah, we've got a few octaves going there. Okay, right. Next person, Abby. Morning, Abby. What are we going to do next? So we're filling. I want you to do the two notes, one there and one there, and don't forget we're heading up to our B. Abby, you there? You're it's not sounding so great. Abby, are you there? Okay, Abby, I'm afraid I'm not really. Okay, Abby, I'm going to have to move on. I feel like the line isn't working quite right. Chelsea Maharaj, you're up next. Chelsea, what do you think you want to do there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay. Wait, I have a question before we start.
Yes.
Okay, so like, I realized, okay, so say in bar 4, right? Bar 4, like, okay, yeah. The first note in the counterpoint, it was C, and then in bar 5, it was A. So we have to look at the interval between like C and A, and then that like affects the, passing note we're gonna put before that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
What are you thinking about here? Are you thinking about this, but it's kind of like a B there?
No, okay, so C to A, that would have been a consonant interval, right?
Yeah, the sixth.
No, I mean like in the bottom part.
Yeah, it's a sixth, that's a consonant, right?
Like in bar 4 and 5, C, the first note C, and then in bar 5, A. So since you have a consonant interval, like the passing note could be like dissonant. It's okay, cool.
Yep. And we want to have dissonance on the second beat of the bar where we can.
Okay. So okay, cool. I'm thinking of an answer for the next one.
That's okay. I'm just typing a few things. I'll explain in a second.
Okay, can we skip, okay, from we're in bar 9. After the D, can we put an F or no? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, will that F be allowed? Even though it's an octave?
Yes, well, as Patrice pointed out, we have had quite a lot of octaves, so it may be best to stay away from that.
Oh. I was trying to go up because we're coming to the end.
Yes, it is getting a little tricky there. You're right.
If we had gone to the F, then we could have gone to G after.
Yes. Okay. Well, tell you what, let's do that. But I would say, yes, we are getting too many octaves now. But that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. It would be something to go back and have a look at. Okay. All right. One last person, Varel. Morning, Varel. Can you tell us our last 2 notes to put in? I can't hear you, Varel. You're going to have to unmute. There you go. Okay, morning. Got 2 more notes to fit in. Let's have a... Well, Varel, we know that on the first beat, it needs to be a consonant note, right? So let's decide what those notes can be. So below a D, what's a third below a D? Are you speaking? I can't actually hear you speak. Oh, okay, I can see you speaking and I'm not hearing anything. Okay, I'm going to have to move on. Sorry, Varel. Okay, Miguel, you're up next. So let's do this bit here. So what's a third underneath a D? Oh, I unmuted you and then you muted again, I think. So if you click unmute. Okay, morning, Miguel.
Yeah,
what's a third underneath a D?
Third underneath a D is B.
A third underneath a D?
Yeah, B.
Is it B? Right, a B. Oh, whoops, sorry. So it could be a B. What's a fifth underneath?
G and then F.
G and F, okay. So those are the things that we could have underneath. So I suppose obviously a D as well, right? Okay, so which one of those are you going to pick? See if we can get some dissonance in the next bar. In the previous bar would be good.
Yeah. So I can move the B from the the B.
Yeah.
And just make it semi-brief.
I guess you could, yeah, okay. And then?
And then yeah, then the A.
A there, right, okay. Okay, yes, you could do that. Okay, so we've got there, we finished it. Now, I think we probably could all agree there's some things we might want to change. I marked in some things here while someone was talking earlier. So C just means it's a consonant note, or just the next consonant note. Lower neighbor, passing tone. Consonant skip is a consonant note, but there was a skip here. Upper neighbor, consonant leap, consonant leap. This is a consonant skip. And this is a consonant as well. Okay. Consonant step, I suppose. Okay. So we've got dissonances here, here, 1, 2, 3. Got 3 dissonances. Might be nice to have a little bit more. Okay. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back a little bit on Miguel's answer here. Put back in that B. Okay. So what we could have done here would be a G there, right? Now we've got 2 G's, so we could do an F there, which would be a 7th. Now we have another dissonance, okay? So, which is a lower neighbor. All right? So we've got a bit more dissonance going on. Okay, so let's try and hear it. So I'm gonna have to stop that share for a second. Start it again with the sound, I think. Share sound. Okay, and then we can all have a little listen and see how it came out. Okay? Just give me a second to find the play. Probably speed up a little bit. Okay. All right, let's see how this sounds. Okay, if you've got headphones in, you should be able to hear it. Tell you what, guys, let's speed that up a little bit. Back to the top again. Can everyone hear it? No? No? Oh.
No, sir. We're hearing something else.
No, I can hear it.
I wonder if that might be a problem with Sibelius. It might possibly. Okay, I tell you what, we had this problem last time, didn't we? And I shared it as an MP3. I'll do that again. I'll make an MP3 of it and put it online. Okay, good. Okay, so we finished it. I think we did a fairly good job. Things to think about. We obviously, as Patrice pointed out, is corridor of octaves. We've got these 2 6ths in a row, which is quite a big jump there. Might be something to reconsider, perhaps. Although 2 leaps is not, you know, at the end of the world there. Okay, so there we go. Finished it just in time for the end of the class.
I have a question.
Yes, Carlos.
Concerning the homework, right? Closing counterpoints. The first bar, the first note in the measure, is it required to be an octave all the time, or I could use a 3rd, 5th, 8th, or innocent?
Yeah, it's just the last 3 bars. You're not opening. It's just the closing. So you have to obey the ending rule. So it's like you're doing this part, right? You're just doing the last 3 bars. So it can be anything here, but you're remembering to put 2 to 1 and 7 to 1.
And 7 to 1, right.
Yeah, and if you can, get some dissonance in there, which can be a little tricky sometimes at the end.
Thank you very much.
So if you can't get dissonance, you could just leave it normal.
I'm not sure what leaving it normal means.
As in the closing, right, sir?
Yeah, the homework closing, right.
It's just the last 3 bars, right?
Yes.
But some of them real tricky to put dissonance, so can you leave it normal?
Yes. I don't know what normal means. You mean doing this?
No, I mean, what's the next word by,
Make it a consonant?
Consonant, yeah.
You could, I mean, that's something to just play with. It does get a little tricky at the end. So, you know, so that's okay.
So it could be like the whole 3 bars could be consonant.
They can. I mean, yes, just try to get some dissonance in there, but if you can't, that's okay, you know. Just see what you can do. It's practice, right? Okay, guys, so we're kind of there for today. So thanks for checking in, and I'll see you again on Thursday. Please make sure you get ahead with the the openings and the closings. Okay, and I've now.
So
Yeah, Patrice. Yeah.
Azaria said that she submitted some overdue homework on Canvas last week in the comments section of each assignment, and she doesn't know if you saw them. So.
Yes, quite possibly not. Azaria, you better message me.
Yeah, I did the same thing, sir.
Most things have been marked.
2 weeks before, though.
Most things have been marked. So if you haven't got a mark, unless you handed it in the last couple of days, you should message me. Okay?
Okay.
So try and get these things done on time, right? So that we're doing one step at a time. We've had openings and closings, and now today we've got the whole thing. Okay, so there are 3 assignments probably for most of you there. Openings, closings, a whole set of second species. Okay? You can always message me. You can always submit it and say, I'm stuck. Okay, so, but please stay in touch, okay? When I get these, get to grips with all this before the final assignment. Okay, I'm just looking at a few more messages here. Okay, Azaria, I'm seeing your message there. Okay, guys, I will put this up on Canvas. Please keep checking in with Canvas. There'll be a few more little tests coming up there. Okay? All right, nice to see you all today. Thanks for being here. Stay healthy. Eat your vegetables. Okay? And I will see you all soon, Thursday. All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.